In a world wrought with struggle and strife, a world rich with beauty and grandeur, a world where peril lies around every corner, a world of casting and honing. One group steps up to share the perspective of the masses in this, the World of Warcraft. We are Pwnecast, the voice of the players.
You have crossed into the world of the dead in search of answers.
Welcome back. You are listening and/or watching Pwnecast. This is episode 70, and we are in patch 6.2. I am your Warlock host, Belle. I don't know.
People are probably confused as fuck whenever they get into the beginning of the movie.
I don't even know. Well, especially the audio, because they have no idea of the fuckery that happens while I'm speaking, and you guys doing...
This is 6.2, suckers!
And now the ears came out, and I'm totally creeped out. I did bring all the writers of Furland. I don't know what's happening. I brought the guys. I did bring the mage with no Hearthstone, Frieza.
It's true. I'm still homeless, and I'm being fed Hot Pockets, according to Lycan, from my mother. And I think I need to get on that. Man! I need to get on that and have her start making me some good food while I play WoW.
You have a bag of cheesy poop sitting there?
I'm going to need to get some. So I'm
your mom was not in a German Scheisse video because she's a respectable lady. So
she is very, she's up here.
I had to. You can't talk about.
We'll be here all week.
You can't talk about Cartman or his mom without bringing up the German Scheisse video, right? No, I just watched the Terrence and Phillip yesterday with the Blame Canada. It was funny. Anyway, probably not appropriate at this moment. So you're in the works of getting your own pad, right?
Yes, in the works.
Now you're making a ton of money, so.
I am, and I need to do something with it, so.
Well, I mean, I need stuff if you're...
I don't even know you guys. I know.
It's all about work and no play.
And I'm pretty selfish with my money because my dad tells me that my nephew needs boots for his camping trip he's going on Monday, and I was like, what are you asking me for? He's like, we need money. And I was like, how much money? So I was pretty selfish. I need to get better.
I got to buy frozen pizza and soup this week, so sorry, I don't have any money.
Yeah, I don't even know those nephews. I don't even know who they are.
Are these Elidas?
Yes, they are Elidas.
Oh, his kids are so cute, though, every one of them.
They're pretty awesome kids, and I don't know why they don't play well. I don't know whether or not he's keeping
the little one does, the 9, maybe now 10-year-old, right?
Here's the thing. They all have a character, but they would rather play Mindscape. Or not, Minecraft. They'd rather play Minecraft. And I'm like, I don't get it yet. I don't understand why they would rather play that, but I can't help them.
Instant gratification.
True.
That's probably what it is. Yeah, that's probably what it is. And they don't like competition. They didn't grow up like me and Elida, where we grew up and we got our faces smashed in all the time in PvP and Halo and Call of Duty. We got, that's what we were used to. We thought losing was a great thing. We wanted to become better and better and better. Yeah. And his kids have nothing of that.
They have no idea what that even means.
They don't. They want instant gratification, I think, just like Hots for Shots and
this
the
generation.
microwave generation.
Yeah, you're right.
And it actually affects the video
Hot
games.
Pocket generation.
Hey, so I was driving by because I eat a lot of that pho, and one place was called Pho Hot Shots. And I thought, I was missing one word. No! I was like, Hots for Shots. I was like, oh, man, it was so close.
He knows them, probably, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad to have you here. We were very bitter that you chose food over us last week.
Pretty much.
We were like, wow, okay, we see. But we did also bring the Death Knight who got kicked off the Guild RBG team. I don't recall that happening, but Lycan.
All I have to say is do not talk to your GM when they're all hopped up on cough medicine because the conversation doesn't go well. All I told her was just give me a month. I want to make sure they have enough time to replace me. She was like, cool, everything was fine. She wished to be the RBG leader. He had no idea what the hell she was talking about. And I go to log in last night after raid. I'm going, RBGs? And she goes, we found a replacement for you. See, I did a good job. I'm going, what are you talking about?
I was really proud of myself. I was like, you're trolling me, right? You're kidding. No, I said it in a month. Oh, well, that's awkward because I already replaced you.
So I'm like, good, I can go home. I go to bed. I logged off. I went and lay down in bed all night, and he still didn't even get no sleep.
To have it now.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw that. I was looking through Facebook and I was like, 15 minutes. What?
I would blame NyQuil because that was serious. I was seriously dying. I'm pretty sure it was Ebola. But yeah.
Are you sure it was NyQuil?
Well, Bill Cosby hasn't been here, so it.
Oh.
Too soon?
Bill Cosby. Hey, Bill Cosby knows how to party.
Is it too soon?
Right.
Too soon for that? Okay.
That guy.
Got it. There's going to be plenty of Bill Cosby talk, I'm sure, because I read some of the court stuff. I was disgusted. Anyway, I did also bring the boomkin who owns nothing but plaid, apparently. Hots for shots.
What?
Love it.
Yeah, so awkward story. I had to buy nice dress clothes, and I went to my mom's work, and she works at Sears. So I got a nice, little 4 dress shirts that were all plaid and apparently looked like tablecloths.
I had to tell him people our age don't shop at Sears unless we're buying prom dresses. Seriously, we don't shop at Sears.
I mean, maybe I wanted to feel like a princess.
Well, so he's cleaning out the room because him and Wiener's room, they still live in cardboard boxes. And I'm like, hey, you guys have been here going on 3 months. You're home. You're not going anywhere. Please get out of the cardboard boxes. Set up your room. Make it look like yours. Feel good. So I was in there stalking him while he was pulling all his clothes out of his box. And I was like, what the fuck is happening in your box?
Yeah.
Are you sure you didn't go to the Martha Stewart section? Because that is not a clothing section.
No, I don't know.
The prison version of Martha Stewart, or
that's the only version that I like.
I mean, she was pretty hardcore. In case you didn't see the made-for-TV movie.
Yeah, I let her choke me.
What just happened?
I lost all my shame a while ago.
So you guys heard it here first. Priza has a secret obsession for all things Martha Stewart and choking.
God, I just watched the Pickles movie and Martha Stewart's in it, and
was she choking anybody?
No. I can't watch it. I can't spoil it because it's actually at the end of it, and that's awful. Hilarious.
Awful. Well,
an opinion expressed by the host of this show do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of host.
I wasn't talking about being choked by Martha Stewart. I was talking about Bill Cosby roofing people. I mean, what's inappropriate about that? Everybody loves
both of them. If you want to have a good time, you want to invite both of those people to your party.
What's a few roofies and butter amongst friends, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, who doesn't want to wake up with Martha Stewart and Bill Cosby on your side? I mean, seriously, people would get one life, man. Live it up.
All you need to do is sprinkle on a little Justin Bieber, and then you really have a party. What just happened? I don't know.
How about that WoW thing?
You don't need alcohol when you got roofies, buddy.
Some Jello pudding.
And what's worse is it was Quaaludes. Do they even make those anymore?
No, they don't, actually.
I don't drink from anything any man gives me anyway, even my own husband. I learned that lesson a long time ago from other friends. I'm just like, if you're bringing me a drink unless I know you a lot, I don't drink anything you give me just because you never know.
Obviously, they don't make them because they sound like they're still 40-year-old because they still know what the hell happened the night before.
I just thought of something, but I can't remember the exact name.
Clearly, medically, we've come pretty far in our roofies.
Correct.
Flories, whatever you want to call it.
I was trying to think of the episode of Family Guy where Stewie goes to Brian and he says, do you have any, he says the pill name is like, I can't remember it. He's like, oh, you mean aspirin? He goes, no, I don't like aspirin, but it's the pill before aspirin. I totally forgot the name of it. What was that called? Xanin? I don't know.
Xanax?
No, not Xanax. That's new. I totally forgot.
I don't know what's happening.
Right? That's a good pill. You guys, okay, let's talk about that. Yeah. At least everyone gets to have fun except for you.
So
that'll be awesome.
Just so you know, anybody that comes and hangs out with us at BlizzCon, I wouldn't drink anything Frieza offers you because I'm a little freaked out.
You're looking for a time you wish you could forget? Sign this sheet right here.
We're not going to Vegas, people. Come on. We're not the 3 best friends that anyone can have. Like,
You're never gonna forget this face.
I need my
have
cardboard
lost
boxes
complete
back.
control over what's happening right now. I have no control over the show.
I need
at
my
this point.
cardboard boxes back.
See,
I'm going
this
to
is why you
downtown
have-
Phoenix.
Yeah, I need somebody to get out of
I
here,
don't feel
man.
safe anymore.
I don't feel clean.
Don't feel clean. Unclean.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get into the news now that we've wasted quite a bit of time on.
What was that pill called? I'm looking at.
You're gonna have to Google it. So, the Apexis Crystal bonus event is going on till the 24th. The thing to remember about this is you should see the little buff on your buff bar, and it's going to grant you bonus crystals for anything that you're doing, whether it's dailies or farming these from rares and Tanan and all of those sorts of things. Now's the time, really, as the end of an expansion and beginning of an expansion happens, you want to really, really grind out those Apexis crystals so that you can get your, there's what the mount, is it 150?
150,000.
And you can use it to upgrade your gear, your baleful gear in Tanan if you're trying to quickly gear an alt or just gear a tune in general to go ahead and raid. So make sure you guys check that out and take advantage of that till the 24th. So this next piece of news, I'm deathly ill. We're all sitting in the office, me, Hots for Shots, Dark, my husband, and Wiener, and we're sitting in here, and Wiener says, Wil Wheaton's hosting BlizzCon, and I'm like, wait, huh?
Oh, what?
So,
Go ahead.
So from the bits and pieces, I don't know if he's hosting all of it or if he's just doing the contest, because in 2 different posts it says 2 different things, so I'm going to have to get back to you guys on the official what his role is going to be, but let me tell you why this is amazing. And haters going to hate, it's okay, but you're talking about not only is he iconic from Star Trek, I mean, it's Ensign Wesley Crusher. Like, that's Dr. Crusher's boy. Like, he was the man-child, right? Man-child. He not the smartest guy in the very beginning. And what I didn't know is I didn't know how many things he had been involved in nerd-wise. I mean, he's a huge nerd. Guild Force 2.
He's up there.
Yeah, he hosts all kinds of conventions, and he's a huge Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, he's a
cool guy because, you know, I actually listen to a lot of podcasts, and he's been a guest on a few podcasts that I've listened to. He's not a bad guy. He's not like a dick or a douche. His face comes off as a freaking dick, but
something about
when he talks, I'm like, okay, I can listen to him.
I think a lot of that has to do with the Big Bang Theory about how much Sheldon actually hates him. But he also does a tabletop game. If you guys are into tabletop games like Dungeons and Dragons, where is he just disappearing? Okay, but he does a tabletop game show where he does all the different.
God, he was wearing pants because that would have been awkward.
Maybe not for the listeners, but we'd have been like, ooh.
Yeah, no, yeah, he had all kinds of games like that. Oh yeah, he's up there.
Awesome. So we have a guildie named Soiled myself, and Eric is his name, and he's going to BlizzCon as well, and he's going to run interference so that I can like run up on stage and be like, oh my God, can you sign my forehead? I'm pretty stoked because I'm a Trekkie. Most of you that know I am literally Star Trek till death, and I'm pretty just as excited if it would have been Patrick Stewart or William Shatner, really. But yeah. Could be worse. There's a lot of people they could have picked definitely for worse, but I don't know if he's hosting the entire front to back or if it's just the contest portion. I'm not 100% sure because 2 different posts gave me 2 different pieces of information. One said hosting BlizzCon, the other said hosting the contest portion. So we'll give you more information on
I did find the pill for all the people who are listening to the podcast and are screaming at me and trying to get me to figure out what it was. It was called Anison.
That sounds like...
Yes. And Brian goes, I don't know what that is. Isn't that pill came out in the 70s or something? And he's like, I don't know. Yeah. So that's what the name is. Anison.
I'm happy that you don't know the name of it, to be honest. I would be a little creeped out if you do like the prescription size and everything. I would be really creeped out.
Sounds like we'd be bringing Jared into it.
Oh
maybe.
Man, so too soon? Too soon.
Yeah, that's probably too soon.
Too soon. God, what a douche. Okay, too soon. We're not going to talk about that because that's going to. Then I'm going to go on a Duggar rant, and it's just going to be infinite.
We're just not even going to talk about
No,
WoW this week.
we
We're
can't.
just going to talk about all the
Man,
celebrities.
life. We really need a spin-off of just things in world news that would just piss us the fuck off. Okay, so BlizzCon goodie bags are now available for both regular ticket holders and those that have already purchased the virtual ticket. Virtual tickets are on sale for $39.99, and for the goodie bag, which is going to be, it's a 34-ish, I think it's like $34.99. You get the messenger bag with all kinds of other kick-ass little, a little vinyl pop and some other stuff. What happens is most of you probably seen the waves of emails go out. If you already purchased your regular BlizzCon ticket, you would have got your code, so you can pop it in there, redeem, and then it'll link it for you to go to the gear.blizzard store to be able to purchase that. Keep in mind, it's only while supplies last. So if you're waiting on getting the goodie bag, you probably want to get it now because if I recall last year they sold out, I think, a couple weeks after they went on sale. So make sure that you guys go, and make sure you guys check your emails as well because I know they were sending them out in waves and I know some people haven't gotten them, so don't panic because that is happening. Also, that reminds me, Frieza, don't let me forget to get your code because Calvin would have your code, which is Jobin. He's one of our writers. He would have the code for your thing to redeem on your account, so you get your Mercadan and all that other stuff that you get for your ticket. I'll make sure I do that. So,
all right, that's how I'm going to use that always.
September 1st, patch 6.2.2 is going to be launching. The flying is planned. We're going to actually get to that nice little forum post about that. Flying is planned, as well as mercenary mode for PvP, the new weekly quest to help the players catch up at earlier stages of the legendary. Things in Highmaul, your whatever runestones and stuff you had to farm for, and Blackrock Foundry. So they are those are just a few things that they're introducing. I don't have much to say about that because most of it's all good. So a forum post came out about flying because they said, okay, flying's coming this day, and then Rigarius, I think it was, he had came out and said, well, it's planned. So a lot of miscommunication among the community managers led a few people, this one guy in particular who said, what did he say? Blizzard's doing it again or something? He was frustrated with the miscommunication and one community manager saying one thing and not the other, and you promised us flying, but now you're saying you don't know if it's going to happen. CM Lord did a very long post in response, and I thought my hat's off to him because I really thought he diffused the situation excellently. He just basically stated, we're a game development company. Shit happens. Stuff breaks. We don't want to tell you 100% flying's happening on the 1st because everything could crash and break and burn, and they don't. Right. I mean, they're trying not to commit themselves to something where people are going to say Blizzard's liars. So, what do you guys think about that?
I'm gonna get a quote. You guys go ahead and go before me. I'm gonna get a quote from for
auto insurance. Oh.
No. Everybody, Geico's not a sponsor, but you can save 15 minutes by switching to Geico. Hey, go ahead.
Would you like to be our sponsor? Just kidding.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
What I liked about the post is that he made a couple very good points on her. One, he said it's not like changing zeros to ones and flying's enabled. He said they were having issues where people were flying over certain zones and they were being dismounted and dropped to their death. So they would go and fix that glitch that was in the matrix somewhere and turn around, and they would go to another place, and now this was not working. Or there were zones that you just couldn't even access. There were zones that, because they were only accessible by flying, that certain abilities weren't being able to access. So it's not just like they just flip a switch and say, okay, flying's going. They never planned on flying. Then they turned around, they listened to what we asked them to do. They're giving us the flying. It's going to take some time. Yeah. Anybody has anything to do with software development, especially, I couldn't imagine the lines of code for one zone in Blizzard and World of Warcraft.
Oh my gosh, just to think about that.
Can you imagine a line of code just for Tanan Jungle? And
just
everything
for one question.
Right, and how much you have to go through with all the different interactions that goes on.
Somebody is heavy breathing.
Holy
cow.
We don't see your hand. Hand check. Okay.
Holy heavy breathing. He got excited about Viagra and Martha Stewart.
I'm never going to be the same.
But, he made some really good points on it. He says, look, give us time. This is why we don't set dates. because sometimes things happen. We don't want to say September 1st, and then it actually come out September 8th because we found one last push, and he said it right there, Saturday night before the launch. We find out there's an error, and we have to rewrite thousands of lines of code to fix one little glitch. And I was explaining this to my wife. Now, my wife does not play the game. This is has nothing to do with the game. The only thing she knows about is what I tell her. And I read this forum post to her, and we both agreed, I could never work for Blizzard. I could not have that many millions of people just tearing at me all day. And you could tell the frustration was building up, and he did a wonderful job of keeping his composure, laying out the facts, and laying personal opinion. He goes, look, I've been a player for 8 years before I got hired. I know what you guys are going through.
I'm disappointed he didn't say not one motherfucker. Where's Samuel L. Jackson?
I know.
Yep.
You got to use it just right in the right sentence, and fans would applaud you.
And they
if
would
you
be
do
like,
it right.
dude, holy badass. What did you read that? Did you read his whole response, Frieza?
I did. I read the whole response. I loved it. I think it's really crazy. Because you got to think, just like Lycan says, these guys are getting emails all day long, every day, every week, and it's good that there's someone actually reading these emails. But eventually, it comes to the degree where there's you get 1,000, 2,000 emails on the same subject, and they're like, well, we got nothing. We can't do nothing about this, because just like you said in the thing, it's 100%. They said we can't ever give 100% guarantee or 100% date, because there's no such thing. And I think a lot of fans need to know that. Although there is things that piss me off about the game that they could totally prevent from doing, like Ashran, or if you can't do flying, maybe don't even say you're going to do flying, say you're just going to do an expansion. There's some things that they just need to either be bold and not bold about, but when they do get bold, they get in trouble. And I've noticed that too. If they get bold saying, well, we're not going to do this, then a million fans get up and leave. So they can't win. They can't win. It's a win. It's a win-lose situation for them, I think, most of the time. So I think maybe his thing could have been a little more longer, I guess. Maybe he should have made more details about the situations, the more of the emails that he keeps getting. I like to see exactly what he was talking about necessarily. I know the flying was the main subject in the thing. I was just an example, but I like to get more blue tweets so he can just get it out in the open and saying, this is what we think about this is what we think about this is what we think about this, and then every month do it again. Keep the fans in the game. Keep the fans know that they're listening, and they do a decent job at it. But they do. I'm not going to lie.
This is the best expansion they've ever done that on.
This is true. They are doing a good job, but I don't know. Maybe they could have did a little more communication when fans start leaving, but I think it's good that someone like that comes out and says, boom, this is what we feel about your comments.
I agree.
I
don't even have a response because that's 100% accurate.
And you watch a lot of movies and you watch a lot of these documentaries with business owners. They can't stand when people tell them how to do their job or how to do their business and how to make it better. So it's very hard for them to humble themselves and take it in and say, okay, we screwed up. So I think they're very humble people. They're very
I agree.
They're very patient. They have patience of a saint. Yeah, because it's gotta suck to screw up. And think about it. We all have jobs. You screw up, you get to hear it from your one boss or your a couple guys that work with you. These guys have to hear it for like 7 million players.
I pride myself on having a thick skin, but I'm pretty sure I would cry every day. If I was any kind of community manager for them, I would literally...
Just think about being a GM.
A friend of mine's like, why aren't you working for Blizzard? You have the programming experience. You have 7 years. Why aren't you here? Because then it would ruin the game for me then. It wouldn't be what it is, and I
know everything that I don't want to know about it.
Yeah, I don't want to know about all those. I don't want to be, I don't want to get yelled at every day. I don't want to hate myself
Yeah, because there's going to be people who are never going to understand.
Agreed.
There's going to be people just like that. But what are you going to do with those people? Okay.
So. One more topic of news. They did do some horde racial changes. I'm pretty sure we have an article drafted about that, probably getting ready to publish it, so make sure you guys check that out. The Savage Satchel of Cooperation, which is awarded for completing a class role that is in demand in the Dungeon Finder, it's actually got quite a bit of a buff. The gold awarded is over 200% now. The satchel also has a chance for additional baleful tokens, empowered Apexis fragments, and medallion of the Legion, which is for the if you have it's 1,000 per across the board for all the Draenor reputations, or if you have your level 3 trading post, right? Is it trading post? Then you get the increased percentage, which it works out to 13. I think mine was 1,300 across the board to be able to make sure you get your Pathfinder.
It's 1,200 because you're human, so you
get so I get the extra boost. Okay.
But even with that, I ran a dungeon the other day. Greeley in the guild said, "Hey, you need to go run these dungeons to give him medallions," because I'm rep farming Shatari Defense, which is if you have the level 3 in, it is a pain in the ass to get. And these do work on them. And I got 5 Baleful tokens, like 200 gold. I mean, it was ridiculous how much money I got out of it.
As a tank, right, on the DK?
Oh, yeah.
Bird rolling bear.
Whatever that means.
I don't know if that's
going guardian.
Yeah.
So I can tank for dungeons.
Oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense than whatever.
I didn't hear it right.
I was just going to ask on a scale of 1 to Lindsay Lohan, how stoned are you? Because I don't understand what that meant. He's all about a Britney Spears. So we talked to you guys about last week. We had told you guys last week that we were going to have Lycan do the weapon every week, a new weapon, and Elida had actually inboxed Phonecast and said, "Hey, we need the weapon lore," and I'm like, "We're already doing it, so we're on the same page." So Ashbringer, that's what's happening. Now, this is going to be quite a bit lengthy. Don't chop it up because we want to give everybody the full, so don't worry. We're totally fine on time. I promise to mute and not interrupt you till you're all the way completed.
Okay.
Now, here's my thing. is I remember talking to Elida back in the days and a couple of my old Horde friends, and I said at level 100 they should give the ability for Turin to carry the log and be able to obtain that. And I think that I thought they were going to do it, and they didn't, because everyone's getting these great weapons, and I'm like, well, the Turin don't have Karen's weapon of choice. The freaking log. And
cows are not allowed to carry sticks. Sorry.
Right.
Oh, come on. So I was really disappointed at that.
Happy cows come from California.
I mean, look at Bloodhoof. He has 2. I'm like, okay, they need to step it up with the turns for a little bit.
Okay.
Give them a little bit of love. Go ahead.
Ashbringer, artifact weapon.
Ashbringer.
Boom.
Ashbringer is one of the most legendary swords in the game. It's the most legendary weapon out there. We're talking this started from the history of this, and you'll find out will start from the first Orc War, all the way up through Wrath of the Lich King, where you start at DK starting area. So hopefully you'll be able to understand a lot of this, and I might be able to bring this to light. First, during the first invasion, as the Orcs' forces were being driven back, Alexandros and Mograine, which the entire time I wrote this article and started thinking about it, here's the Lady Gaga song, Alejandros, so bear with me if I mess it up. Well, he spots a powerful warlock, and he orders that all his men to kill this warlock. He was just like decimating anybody he attacked. After this warlock dies, he drops a black crystal that he was using to power his spells. When Alexandros touches it, his hand withers to like that of an undead person, and even his own light was not able to heal it. After the First War, Arthas, Jaina, Uther, they were all sent out to investigate the plague that was occurring in Stratholme. Mograine wanted to meet with the other members of the Silver Hand. Mograine met with Tyrion Fordring and others to discuss this artifact and what they can do with it. Now, what Mograine believed that they could do... What is going on? Okay. Sorry. What Mograine believed they could do was actually find the polar opposite, because if they thought this evil one existed, there had to be one made out of the light. And, so there would be this opposite, and they could use that for a spell. The other members of the Silver Hand that were there, Fairbanks, Tyrion Fordring, said, no, we need to destroy the thing. So they started casting holy spells on it to destroy it. Well, it never destroyed it, but it actually transformed it to the light version. So now you have the complete opposite of that crystal sitting there in front of him. Mograine looks down, and his hand is completely healed. So by basically dispelling that black shadow magic that was in it, they brought out the true crystal. Now, after Arthas disbanded the Knights of the Order of the Silver Hand, and this was all during the Calling of Stratholme, if you've ever been to that dungeon in, the Caverns of Time, Mograine headed to Ironforge to have a weapon forged from this crystal. Magni Bronzebeard, now this is the master weaponsmith, still mad because Arthas had killed Mardin with Frostmourne, accepted the job of forging this weapon. He took his rage and his anger that he had over the death of his brother, and as he's banging away on this sword, he's putting that emotion into the sword. And he was using the Great Forge to build it. So he gets this weapon, and it is just like the super weapon of the Scourge that you can imagine. Mograine immediately headed out because they heard about Arthas killing his father. So he immediately headed out and wanted to go to Lordaeron with the new blade to find out what the hell's going on and try to fix things. Mograine stopped by his house on the way out to check on his children. Finding out that they were safe in another town, everything was good, came and come across a band of Scourge. The first Scourge he was going to come across with this sword. He smited this Scourge with this weapon. And like a hot knife through butter, he just tore through these undead armies that were coming after him. The only thing was left was charred remains left laying on the ground. Hence the name Ashbringer. For every undead that it would kill, it would actually just burn them down to a pile of ash. So Mograine and Dath Rohan, which is another member of the Order of the Silver Hand, he was one of the first knights, headed to Stratholme to cleanse it of the Scourge that was there. They were waiting for them. While they were there, the Scourge was actually waiting for them to show up, and Balnazar, which is one of the, I think they're called Fell Lords, was standing there, and he basically possessed Dath Rohan. He wanted to infiltrate the Order of the Silver Hand and find out what the hell was going on and try to break it down from the inside. Dath Rohan, now possessed, convinced Mogaine's oldest son, Renault, or however you want to say it, convinced his son. Now, he was mad because his dad favored the youngest one. When his wife was pregnant with him, his Mograine actually took his son out because he wasn't breathing, dunked him in cold water. He started crying, but by the time he came back in and said, "Look, your son's fine," his wife's dead. And his eyes, eyes remind him of his wife, so he favored this young kid. And in hierarchies, the oldest son always gets the roles. They get everything. Well, when he went back and he tried to convince his oldest son Renault to convince Mograine that the youngest son Darien was kidnapped and taken to Stratholme. Mograine goes out with Fairbanks, another one of the knights, headed right into a trap. Thousands upon thousands of Scourge were standing there. Fairbanks drops very quickly. He was not as skilled as Mograine was, and he just was cutting through them, and thousands upon thousands died right in front of him. Mograine survived the attack. There should have been no way he did it, but with this sword in his hand, he survived the attack. Let's see where I'm at. Okay, so during the battle, after the battle's over, Mograine's exhausted, drops the weapon. His oldest son, Renault, comes over, picks the weapon up, and kills Alexandros Mograine with his own sword.
Wow, that's personal.
Now, people know that version of the sword in the game as the corrupted Ashbringer. That is how it got corrupted. He was killed by his own sword. It started getting corrupted. Alexandros was actually taken by Kel'Thuzad and was raised as a Death Knight. And if those who played Vanilla WoW and were in Naxx, he was one of the 4 horsemen of Naxx, who later actually got replaced by Baron Rivendor. Took his place over as one of the 4 horsemen. Whenever we'll get to that part of the story here in a minute, but he was one of the 4 horsemen. I got a lot of information there. So, the Orb are in shambles. Now we have Kel'Thuzad taking Mograine. Mograine's youngest son, Darien, went on to form the order known as the Argent Dawn. Which really is cool because that's the server I'm now on, and I got to learn a lot about this. And Darien headed to the original Naxx to free his father. Again, one of the 4 horsemen. He killed his father's physical form, but the spirit was still trapped in the Ashbringer, which he was wielding. So he still had this corrupted Ashbringer. His father's spirit was in her. In a dream, Darien was told to go. Fairbanks came to him in a dream and said, "Hey, go find Tyrion Fordwing." Tyrion Fordwing at this time was expelled from the order because he helped Eitrig, which is the orc that was Thrall's right-hand man. And he didn't kill him. He got all his lands taken off of him. He was expelled for helping him and not killing this guy. So he's out there. He goes, well, the only way you're going to be able to actually get rid of this corruption is by an act of love. And this is the only way it's going to happen. So he tries to convince Tyrion to come over. Tyrion says, well, we'll see. Darion takes off. He heads to Light's Hope Chapel. Now, what happens next is what we see in the Death Knight starting zones. Darion takes the Ashbringer, and actually, as during this expansion, you'll see him there, and he's kneeling. He takes the Ashbringer, turns it on himself, and kills himself, sacrificing his own soul and his own spirit to go into the Ashbringer to free his fathers.
That's hardcore. Wow.
Unfortunately, it didn't work. So we have Kel'Thuzad now raises Darion to be one of his Death Knights, still carrying the corrupted Ashbringer. As we see Darion Mograine attacking the Argent Dawn at Light's Hope Chapel, after it's been determined that Darion and his knights were set into a trap, Darion hands the Ashbringer to Tyrion Fordring, which had showed up during the fight. And then as soon as he touched it, it immediately becomes purified. When you get thrown out of the order as a paladin, they can never take away your light. Your light is your own personal conviction. The light that was inside of Tyrion Fordring was so powerful, by him just touching the Ashbringer, it purified it.
Wow.
In the game, you were able to get the corrupted Ashbringer, and you were able to get it changed to the purified Ashbringer. And this is exactly going on to what's going on with the sword. So, this causes the Lich King to immediately retreat. We see him get in his little death gate, and he takes off. In Wrath of the Lich King, we see Fordring and the Ashbringer again. Tyrion Fordring wields the Ashbringer, and hold on one second here. Okay, so the corrupted Ashbringer is purified. We see that players can find Darion Mograine within Arcaris as the Ashbringer with the High Lord of the Knights of the Even Blade during the Scarlet Enclave instance for the Death Knight starting zone. At the Lich King commands, Darion goes in as he was actually set up in his trap. They wanted to get down into the basement of Light's Hope Chapel. What happens at Light Hope's Chapel is where we see underneath of it in the catacombs is where you're going to see the Paladin Order Hall. That's where you're going to see that class hall, is underneath the Light's Hope Chapel. So that actually plays into what's going on with the Legion. So I believe that's where, of course, probably most of your starting zones for your starting quest are going to be in your order halls. Now, in Wrath of the Lich King, in Howling Fjord, Alliance players are actually sent on a quest to retrieve something called a sacred artifact from the Utgard catacombs. When you go down there, you actually pick up this little buff you get enveloped in light, and you have to run down and you have to get this sacred artifact, which is a sword. When you return to Valgard, a nearby cleric will unmask himself as Tyrion Fordring. And basically what happened, he equips the artifact, which is now the Ashbringer. We see this dialogue that goes on. Tyrion was convinced that his advisors wanted him to travel to Valgard in disguise, so they actually gave the sword itself to Eris the Oathbound, and he was entrusted to transport it up. They wanted to make sure that Tyrion and the Ashbringer both didn't go down at the same time. They wanted to make sure that it was completely set apart. This actually caused them to go after the Oathbringer. So we find that the Swords Keeper is down in the catacombs. That's how we have to bring it out. And we see Tyrion go towards Icecrown. Skip to Icecrown. During the final battle of the Lich King. In Icecrown Citadel, we see everything's going on. Tyrion goes up, starts taunting the Lich King, starts the big argument back and forth. Boom, he gets set in ice. He's standing there stuck in ice with the Ashbringer on his back. This is the only sword that Arthas, the Lich King, has ever been afraid of. We go through this whole thing. We get him down to 10%. He kills everybody. That's when the roleplay comes in effect, and you're watching this back and forth again. And you hear Tyrion saying, the Light, if you have one more thing you would do for me, get me out of this ice so I could do this. The Light breaks him out. He takes the sword, and he shatters Frostmourne, which is what I'm going to be going into the next week on the next artifact, which will be the Frostmourne pieces for Death Knights. Because what he does is he's able to use that Frostmourne to shatter Ashbringer to shatter Frostmourne, and releasing all the souls that were trapped within. Tyrion Fordring still has Ashbringer. We don't know what's going to happen between now and Legion. We don't know why he would be willing to give up such an artifact. You know, there are a lot of lore people out there that are complaining because the artifact is so powerful that it basically will one-hit any Scourge and kill them. And now we're sitting here, and we're going to be able to wield this powerful weapon as a paladin. Is going to be able to take this weapon and go forth with it. It kind of puts into wonder lore-wise of, is the power, is it going to be weakened because it's not in Tyrion's hand, or one of the Mograines that had forged it to begin with, or is it going to be a different version of the Ashbringer? We've already seen the corrupted, we've already seen the purified, we've seen the regular. Is this like a certain different type? I don't know. But it will really be interesting to see how this is all going to play in with the lore-wise, how it's actually going to go in further to how powerful it's going to be. And do we ever go back to see the Scourge again, and is this going to be such an overpowered weapon that they're going to have to break it again? Okay.
So, there really hasn't been Scourge around since Naxxramas, Wrath of the Lich King-ish. If you're having issues hitting one of the Scourge and it not one-shotting, we might have issues. So
Okay.
You could still get one-shot.
Let's say we had this weapon now, and we went into the Shadowmoon Burial Grounds. There are undead in there.
Yeah.
Does that mean if we had that weapon now, would we go up to them, which they are a formidable boss, especially in Mythic. You got to fight these ads. They kick your ass everywhere, you know, that they're being mind controlled. Would we be able to walk up to it and just one-shot it like we're supposed to? I mean,
I'm a warlock, so maybe.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. There we go with the warlock again.
See, the problem with this, and I think a lot of people have forgotten it, is paladins used to be able to wreck undead, no matter, like, they didn't even have freaking Ashbringer. They just, all their abilities did it. So now that that's been taken away, now that that's been taken away, that weapon, it might not have always been just the weapon doing it. It was also a paladin that was building it. So
the wielder, right?
Yeah.
The wielder's power.
And I think the only people that would be able to do it would be the Mograines, because that's their sword. That's their family sword.
I thought you were saying Mo Green like 4 times.
Because
obviously I'm a Godfather fan, so every time I was like, wait, Mo Green's in this motherfucker? What?
Someone killed Mo Green, and I never asked who and why they did it. I just know that he had a big mouth. No, that was great.
And
that was a great part.
refused to sell his casino. I'm just saying, like,
he's Mo Green, man.
Right. Sorry, I just kept saying it. I was like, huh? Sorry.
That was out of the blue. Way to go.
I'm saying with the Mograines, though, I think it because it's a family sword, that's why it was so powerful in their hands. Because Tyrion was such a formidable paladin, and he still is. I mean, he's the most powerful paladin we currently have. You know, that maybe he is able to do it. Maybe Magni Bronzebeard is the only other person able to wield this sword, because he's the one that created it. Yeah. But with that anger that was put in from Bronzebeard, that crystal that was found that was purified, everything this sword has gone through, it is one of the most, if not the most, epic swords and epic weapons that you'll ever find in this game. Even better than Doomhammer. For all those people that like Doomhammer, which is another story upon itself, it's still powerful, and we're going to get into that and why I think we're going to get Doomhammer in a bit.
Awesome.
So
awesome segment.
I loved it. I learn every time. I'm going
to write it up. I'm going to have it put up on the PDQ after the show is published. And if you guys want to go back and reference it, we should be able to have them all there for you.
And also, an interesting event occurred during this lore segment.
Someone talked a lot of shit to the toilet, and
the Ponecast toilet overflowed. The husband came out here and looked very disturbed and was frustrated because the plunger is in Dom's bathroom and someone's in the shower, and
nice.
He's just like circling back and forth like he doesn't know what to do. And I'm like, well, I mean, Maybe you should have more fiber. I don't really know what's happening. But that was happening live.
Toilet was like, I'm out of here, guys. Screw you guys.
That's why I was very distracted
You want
during
to
that
talk
segment.
shit?
Stop having peanut butter. Anyway, so yeah, I thought that was
Corn?
pretty.
Yeah, corn.
That was pretty awesome.
Good job, like it.
I dig it.
Golf clap.
Yeah, that
I'm
was
ready.
pretty awesome. I
I'm-
know everybody is super excited about what just happened because a lot of people requested that. So
I'm
Hopefully.
really excited to see all the other legendary
too.
weapons that are going to be coming
Yeah,
out.
and we've
or
got a
relic
list so
weapons.
far, a starting of them, of the artifact weapons.
Mhm.
And I'm hoping the closer we get towards beta and of course release, we're going to learn about the other ones, and I'll be able to do more lore. More lore segments on that. But what I have started so far, I have plenty of room to get us up
Yeah,
there. So I
at least
should be
to
able to
carry
break.
it to beta.
Right, I should be able to take every one of them and break them down very easily and have it all up on a PDQ if you want to know the history of what the weapon you're going to be going for.
awesome. So we got through everything pretty quickly, and we have just enough time for our week in WoW. Frieza, did you get any WoW time in this week?
No, I just sent a text on the Skype chat.
It says, please.
Too late for that.
Please, well, then
Like, he
that's
sent
good.
it, and then you're like, Frieza, and he's like, oh.
It's always gone in order of seniority on
that.
the show, so I've always
True
done
that.
it the same way.
Okay, no, I have not lately at all. It's been a little rough time
You're waiting
at
for
the
Legion.
moment.
We get it.
I kind of am. When there's a lot of, I know the fans out there, I know. But when they made me get honor gear to replace my conquest gear, I mentally checked out of the game at that point. I
That
said,
was
I don't.
really weird.
Yeah,
I did not approve of that.
I didn't approve. And keep in mind, guys, and I know a lot of the new fans and the old fans know that I only get about an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours a week
Right.
to play, and I can't spend that in Ashran trying to get honor.
Right.
And I'm not.
Makes
I'm
sense.
not going to do battlegrounds.
Yeah,
Go
I'm
on.
not going to
You
do
went
it.
I love you.
You went from one conquest to the next conquest set, correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. And
Correct.
I'd like to say
You
that
went-
they're doing a lot of changes with it, and there's a lot of big changes coming up with PvP that we'll talk about in future segments. That
Oh yeah.
that we're going to learn about gear. There's a big bomb dropped on about the new PvP gear, or not lack thereof, incoming in Legion. So they're still working on it. I mean, give the guys a little bit of chance, but I'm hoping with what I've heard from the new stuff, it'll be good.
They
Well-
needed change, and I'm so for it.
Yeah, they're completely
With-
tearing it down and building it right back up. I mean, they're literally so.
I was gonna say, like, if you look at vanilla PvP, maybe BC, PvP gear and PvE gear went hand in hand.
Yep.
But balancing was completely different back then. CCs, it was 45 seconds to a minute in a CC if you didn't have a trinket. If you popped your trinket, and then they re-CC you, well, just go get some coffee, go to the bathroom, make a sandwich,
I used to.
come back.
I used to get up. I used to get up and go get some water and then come back, and I was still feared.
No,
And
it
what
was-
we've learned so far too with what they're doing with the gear is that there's no PvP gear, but it's not in a bad way. Because your
Yeah.
PvE players are going to be able to get gear through PvE.
Right.
PvP players will be able to get it through PvP. And I think when they start doing that and how they're starting to split the balances between PvE and PvP, I think it'll be great.
I think yeah, and that's what it was. For the fans out there that do watch, see what I'm doing. I can't do it, guys. I can't go to battlegrounds.
Well, it's
I
okay.
can't do
We
it.
still love you. It's okay. I should have
I
asked you
know.
last. It's okay. We still love you.
I
don't
promised
care.
myself I would never go to a battleground for the rest of my life,
We
and
don't
I
even
kept
care.
that promise.
We don't even care. You'll be back in
Okay.
Legion.
Yeah, I'll be
Baby,
back.
come
Well, I may come back. It just
They may-
depends on
oh,
time. I just need more time to play. I got nothing. Got no time.
Lycan, what did you do this weekend, Mal?
Lots of stuff. I've been finishing up with the Apexy Crystal dailies. I've been doing that because if you get 5,000 Apexy Crystals plus like 3,500 gold for some of these mounts, I've been trying to pick up some of those. Been picking up a lot of the dailies that I didn't do the achievements for, so I'm going back and doing that. Speaking of which, I had one where I needed 5 people to do. I went through Group Finder, couldn't find anybody. I ended up getting greedy, and forgive me, there's 2 other from our guild that came
Probably
along.
Soiled, probably Capone. It's usually
Yeah.
the same.
And then
Same
I
fuckers.
found
It's a group of fuckers. That's what they are.
I found one person in Group Finder, and they were in my group, in my party, for almost 25 minutes. sitting there waiting for me to get somebody to come in. We'd get people to join, and then we'd quit immediately. And it's a mage on Suramar. I'm not sure the race, but his name is Ninja 5-0.
Frost?
No. He was Arcane.
Oh, come on, man!
Arcane's a thing for PvE. So.
Yeah, even
was-
then.
He was a kick-ass Arcane mage.
Okay,
And
I'll give him
I
that.
have to give the guy
I'll give him
credit.
that.
He
Just for
stayed there.
PvE, though.
Yep, we joked around about stuff. We had a good conversation there. We were having a good time. Actually added the guy as a battle tag friend. I mean, he's really laid back, and I wanted to make sure I give him a shout out and told him to watch the show this weekend. So at least got a new subscriber out of it too.
Nice.
Awesome. Oh, I didn't tell on my news that I went to a news broadcast station and talked about our show. And they were
like,
excited.
we got this multinational news station, and Fry's
I know.
like, that's okay because we have a podcast. Boom.
It was so cool.
We
It was
have
so cool.
YouTube.
I know. Suck it. But no, I was walking by this new upcoming market, and they have all this radio broadcasting, and there's a school there, and who knows what they charge for their school. But you can actually see inside the school, and you can see all these classrooms, and people are doing live radio shows and podcasts or whatever they're doing, and you can see the groups up there, and they're doing, and then there's the host, and then there's like the people in there, and I walked in there and talked to a few people, and I told them about our show, and they were just completely impressed with what we're doing, and they said that they will be checking us out to their students and seeing what we do and trying to see if because a lot of these, they were saying a lot of their students only have like 50 to 100, maybe 1,000 people listening to them, and I'm like, oh no, we are so past that, it's ridiculous. We are way past that, and I gave them our numbers, and they were just like, wow, we like to interview you. We like to have you on as one of our people in our show. And I was like, no, not me. I go, it's the host, and a lot of the other guys. I go, I'm usually just the guy that shows up. I usually don't do any work. I'd be a horrible guy to interview with.
Yeah, but you bring Martha Stewart and Roofies. Like, that's an important role. You know what I'm saying?
I would love.
And your mom brings the hot pockets.
Yeah.
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
we would be destitute without you.
I did want to throw one thing out there before. I know Hots needs to do, and you still as well. For all the guildies out there that watch it, I want to tell you one more time: sprinkles are for winners. You will get your sprinkles when you down Archimon. I've gotten so much harassment about this, and I gave everybody ice cream.
I saved mine. It's in my bank, and somebody was like, I was on stream, and they were like, "Why do you have ice cream in your bank?" And I'm like, "It's sentimental."
Mm-hmm. I gave ice cream cone out, and they all asked for sprinkles, and I said,
Funny.
quite frankly, sprinkles are for winners. So
sprinkles are for winners.
Yep.
Hots for shots. What did you do this week?
Have a good bumper sticker, man.
I've been working on my elitist thing, gearing, having fun with the rogue.
Things, right?
Yeah, secret rogue things that I can't talk about, or I might get kicked out of the rogue guild. I've been playing my warlock. It's Destro / Affliction. I have the best of both worlds, Destro for PvE and Affliction for PvP. But I'm undergeared, so I can't even begin to make PvE or PvP Destro a thing. But it's been an interesting week at least. I made a friend, since we're all talking about friends we made. I made a friend. I was running Skyreach for the Legendary Ring, and I took the Warlock portal and I threw it down the wind steps, and so they could hop up really quick. And they were like, "Thanks. Oh, by the way, I love your name." And it's Dots for Hots. And they were like, "Oh, that's." I was like, "Oh, thanks." And they were a paladin named Dawn, a holy paladin named Dawn. I was like, "Oh, that's kind of clever, I like it." And then they sent me I got a whisper, "Oh, I sent you a battle tag request." And I was like, "Oh, cool." I accepted it. And, never expected to see him hear from him. And then, good night. Night.
It was really a girl pretending to be a man, probably, or vice versa. We don't really know.
I get a lot of fans who say, "Is this Frieza?" And I go, "Yeah, it's Frieza." And they send me a friend request, and then I never hear of them again. I'm like, what are you doing? Yeah.
So this week I was sick most of the week, so I didn't do a whole lot of things because I was really not feeling well.
She had the Ebola.
I did. I had the funk. It was terrible. I thought I was dying. but I did start the new job. So I worked from home with my laptop in bed, literally, and I fell asleep during one of our huddles, our daily meetings. I literally fell asleep like twice during this phone call. It was embarrassing, but what I decided to do is there's a lot of times in WoW where I'm just kind of standing in my garrison because I don't have anything to do. Either all the guildies are doing things or everything is taken care of because they have fabulous officers. Like sometimes I log in, there's nothing for me to do because it's taken care of. I don't have RBGs that night. I might not have raid, whatever. So I did step out a little bit and I started playing Terra. And what I like about Terra is it's kind of like WoW on steroids. So I get to be able to do something while I'm kind of on my little downtime. I do enjoy it. We started a writers guild on Terra, on Tempest Reach, and it's a nice little break. To be honest, I really like a lot of aspects about it, but I'm never going to love anything like I do World of Warcraft. It just...
Exactly.
There's a lot of elements that I wish WoW would take, but then they wouldn't be WoW. And I mean, I understand all those things, but there's some things where I'm like, man, this...
Maybe WoW 2.0 can.
Yeah,
you know,
maybe.
just
I mean,
accept
they
all
have
the
it.
things.
We want the Sky Castle. We want the Guild Sky Castle. So.
Well, it's interesting, you know, because I haven't been playing WoW lately, but I still got to play video games. It's in me to
Yeah,
have competition.
gamer.
It's in
A
me
gamer's
to
a
be.
gamer.
I
Yeah.
have to. So interesting. I got my own field truck, and I'm out there about an hour away from everybody that I work with, and so it's break time. I get an hour lunch, and I'm sitting there in my truck, and I'm sitting there in the middle of nowhere. I keep that in mind. I'm in a farm somewhere, and I hear a knock on the door. And well, who's that? And I see it, and it's my boss. And he goes, "What are you doing over here? It's your break time, right?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "What are you doing?" I go, "I'm playing my DS, and I'm playing Donkey Kong in the middle of a farm." He goes, "Why do you play that?" I go, "Because it keeps the voices away." He just started laughing. He goes, "I have never seen a mechanic play a 3DS," and I was like, "Oh, this is the first. I'm sorry."
Yeah,
But,
I haven't gotten
I gotta
to
play.
do a whole lot because I was sick. I did unfortunately go out into the real world today with Weenie, and we went to IKEA. And let me tell you, fuck IKEA first of all. That you don't belong in IKEA, and second of all, I'm like in guild. I'm like, well, I just got back from being in the real world, and they were like, how are the graphics? And I'm like, oh, it was shitty. The tank couldn't hold aggro. Naturally, Weenie's the tank, so she couldn't really. She's tiny, so she couldn't really hold any kind of aggro whatsoever. But it was terrible. Never ever do it again.
I feel like she'd be a gnome warrior.
I feel like we were very squirrel and we walked a lot. And I'm a gamer. I'm not built for physical activity. It's
Me
just
neither.
not in
Y'all
my
needed to
like,
get one of the computer chairs and just start rolling it around.
But I did
pushing
want you
it.
guys to know that I found her sock. She left her sock on my desk, and here it is. So that's her sock.
Wait, whose sock?
Weenie's sock.
Weenie.
This is her sock.
What?
It's her sock. She left it on my desk.
She doesn't wear that.
You haven't. Clearly, you haven't seen her.
No.
She's like 3 foot. This is her sock.
Oh, she's making a joke right now.
Yeah, I'm making a joke. We laughed because we laughed, and the people that watch the show are going to laugh because they've seen her on stream where she comes up behind me with the creepy Ewok cardboard and freaks me out when I'm streaming,
Yeah.
which is kind of weird, but yeah.
Keep in mind, people, I only see her in the background every time I'm on Skype with these guys, so I don't actually
She's
ever
like
talk.
this short, like in real life.
Oh,
Yeah, she's tiny.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to see her standing next to Bloke.
I don't want to stand next to Bloke.
And
I don't
Heather,
wanna-
you know, Ella's
wearing my combat
short
boots,
too.
like-
Ella's a miniature too. So, all right, guys, it is about that time for us to get the hell on out of here.
Hydra.
Check out
You
the
don't
streams.
need to. We don't need to give our information away because that's now being put in our boxes on the show, so we don't have to give our contact information out. If you have a Martha Stewart outfit at home, please feel free to hit up Frieza on his battle tag though, because he
Do
is
that.
down. Get some Cisco grease. What is that? Cisco. What is that? I don't.
Whatever
Crisco?
floats your boat.
Crisco. There you go.
Crisco.
Get some Crisco
Cisco's
and.
a singer.
Why do I know
I was
that?
going to say Cisco Kid, but
I don't know.
just leave it alone.
I have not slept because I was out all day doing things. But make sure you guys check out the PwnecastDailyQuest.com. Still doing amazing things over there. Also, for those of you who didn't know, Razer, yes, the company Razer, gave Pwnecast Razer Green Edition Naga to give away. The giveaway ends on the 29th, so make sure you go to the Facebook.com/Pwnecast and enter to win. What'll happen is the winner, Razer, will ship the Naga directly to them. So make sure if you're entering the contest, you're comfortable giving me your your shipping address, but
your social, your shoe size,
Right.
your mom's maiden name.
But
the typical.
you know you're somebody cool when Razor inboxes you and says, "I would like to give you things to give away on your page. We would love to give things away on our page."
Feel like
So,
Swifty.
Yeah,
Folks,
pretty
we're not conceited. We're convinced.
right. No, but we're
I like
pretty
that.
excited because that allows us to kind of thank everybody for their support in a proper way and being
Yes.
able to give them an $80 mouse. So we're pretty
Our
stoked.
fans are
about that.
freaking awesome.
Yeah, we
Oh
really
my
have, we have
gosh.
great
This
people.
is how I feel like.
Also, all of the comments from last week's episode were awesome. I didn't get a chance
I like
to
that.
respond like I normally do because I've been sick, but I know Bloke jumped in there and did a lot of responses. You did not get ignored. I was super sick. But make sure you guys comment on the video. Also, if you guys notice that there's like 30 to 40 dislikes every episode, keep in mind that's one 15-year-old boy that has no life or girlfriend or blow-up doll. So ignore those likes. I'm trying to get YouTube to make that stop happening, but unfortunately there's nothing we could do about it. And he has nothing better to do. And he's watching this right now, and every time he unlikes, he still gives us a view, and it makes me feel good. So
But
that
what
being
you
said,
can do to help us encounter it is leave a like.
give us a like. Tell us what you love. Tell us what you hate. You hate me because I'm a female and I should be in the kitchen? Great. Tell me how you feel because I don't mind. You love Frieza because he likes stripper poles and Martha Stewart? Great.
Yes.
He'll invite you to his next party. You
Of
love
course.
Lycan's beard? Boom. Do it. If you want to wear plaid with hots for shots, he has a whole collection of plaid in his room. So,
No, Ella's husband has that now.
oh,
Thank
yeah,
you.
he did. He passed the torch to
Oh, I wanted to give my email out, my Frieza email, because
Nobody emails anymore.
No, they do. I found out a lot. That the two most common things used in the world, number one is email, and number two is Skype.
Yeah, if you're on
And
an
so-
internet dating site.
Well, yeah. So I'm gonna give my email out because I think I want fans to send me questions.
Just
and
send it to me and I'll
read
put
my
it in
email.
your-
No. I read email.
Listen, I'll put it in your box on the end of the show. They'll see it the whole time.
Yep.
I read email.
Nobody's gonna remember.
I'm gonna make an account, email account.
Send
just
me
for-
the email and I'll put it and it'll always be on your box.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Okay, so we're gonna get the hell out of here because we've
I'm not with
derailed.
everybody here.
We're gonna get on out of here.
The
Thank
train
you guys.
has crashed.
Thank you guys for watching us every week. Or if you're listening, make sure you check out the YouTube version if you want to kind of see our facial reactions. Apologize for the tech issues on last week's episode. That was all my fault. Now it's time to get the hell out of here. Thank you guys for spending your hour with us each week. We appreciate that you give us your time. We're gonna get on out of here. Bye.
Oh.
Why are they humping? That's not normal. That looks like humping. I mean, I don't know what happens.
With the show then.
I don't know what's
that
happening
was
in your
last
house.
episode.
But in my house, that looks like humping.
That
Well,
was last episode.
hang on. Maybe I gave too much information away about my personal life.